1 minute, Young Jonn, the wicked producer, and then the next minute, Young Jonn.
One thing I took from Bado, the work rate. Yeah, I listened to a couple of the songs and it was like good, and that was enough for me. But from that moment, I realized that if I'm gonna do this, I have to get better at it. So with each show, I paid attention to like detail, what I can do to get better, and I feel like we're about to go crazy.
What's up, my people? It's your boy Young Jonn, everything jiggy, and I just spoke my truths on Afrobeats Intelligence. Jiggy.
Afrobeats Intelligence, presented by OkayAfrica.
Democratizing African music with Joey Akan.
It's good to meet you, man.
Same here.
No, it's too long. The distance they've put between us, it should never be this far. Production, it should never be this far. What's interesting is, I've always wanted to talk to you, and everybody says Young Jonn does not do interviews. And so for a long time, it was always Young Jonn does not do interviews.
Yeah.
Why? Why don't you like doing interviews?
Okay, so I won't say like Young Jonn doesn't do interviews. It's just apart from even the old music or being an entertainer, I'm really a man of few words. I don't like to talk too much or to talk too much. You know?
Yeah.
So like I'm like interviews. I do few ones and that's it. Like,
am I correct to say you're an introvert?
I won't say I'm an introvert because when I get really comfortable with people, I go crazy. But before then, there's this wall, very large wall, you know. So.
And have you been able to live this way or exist in this way and still build a career? Yeah. 2 careers, actually.
I mean, like, so the thing is, I've always been authentic to my art. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've never wanted to force anything. So I've never seen the need not to be myself because I want to see a certain result.
Yeah.
You know, I'm taking it at my pace, and I believe like my art is like me. So like, that's what it is.
But as a producer,
yeah,
in the studio, you have to work with multiple people.
Yeah.
So at every point in time, you're context switching.
Yeah.
Both physically and mentally.
Yeah.
At the same time. And then you still have this wall.
Yeah. So even as a producer, I feel like I made a quite number of songs, but I didn't work with so many people.
Okay.
I work with a certain selection of people that the energy just felt right. You know, if not, because if the energy is not, like, what's the point? So, you know, there was just a few select people I used to work with and the energy was right and I was good to go.
So instead of working with more people, you decided to start singing.
I want to say deal. So that's another angle, actually. I swear.
Now that you're an artist, is anything different?
I mean, yeah, I feel like everything is different, actually. Like, life is different. Now I have to be up and down, jump on stage, perform. I enjoy performing, by the way. I never knew I was going to enjoy performing, but I actually enjoy performing, you know.
As much as you enjoy the console?
Yeah, I actually really enjoy performing, if I'm being honest. Like, I mean, when I started, it was really, really kind of, I don't know how to explain. Like, because I'm not really a fast learner, but I'm a good learner.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I can do anything I put my mind to. Like, for real, I'm not joking. It might take time, but I can do anything I put my mind to. So, yeah, when I started performing, it was really, you know. But over time, I kept getting the hang of it, and I feel like I really enjoy performing now, you know.
Huh.
Yeah.
So now, if you're given the choice between sitting and producing, staying on the console and hitting the stage, you would always choose hitting the stage.
Yeah, I enjoy it.
I think you've become addicted to the adrenaline.
That one CFD is possible.
Yeah.
But I enjoy it for real.
How did it feel the first time you hit the stage and you enjoyed it?
Okay, that's a dicey question. So like the first time I hit the stage and enjoyed it, I think it felt really good. Because the first few times, I won't lie, I didn't really enjoy it. Like I was just on stage because I had to do it. I just saw myself on stage. What am I doing?
And at what point was it after you had extended your career into singing, at what point then did you finally begin to really like come into your own on stage?
I mean, it took a while. If I'm gonna be honest,
Like how long?
Maybe close to a year. You know, because I remember when we put out Dada, it became big. Then I had to start doing shows. Then when Isioma called me, I had a show. I was like, show.
Yeah, Isioma is Young Jonn's manager.
I was like, show.
What's the duration between when you dropped Dada and when the song blew? How long did it take?
Honestly, it didn't take so long, like, cause we dropped. I can't remember like in detail, but I remember like we dropped the song, and in a couple months it was big, and then I had the remix with Davido, and the song was literally everywhere.
So Isioma called you.
I was like, I had a show. I'm like, I have a show, cause it was funny. I was like, so yeah. I mean, I got dressed up, got to the show. Like I was about to go on stage. In my head, I really didn't know. I'm just being honest, right?
Yeah.
I just got on that stage and that was it. But from that moment, I realized that if I'm gonna do this, I have to keep getting better at it. So with each show, I paid attention to like detail, what I can do to get better, and I feel like it just kept getting better. You know?
Until you became a junkie for adrenaline.
I swear down.
And the thing about you that fascinates a lot of people,
Yeah.
and fascinates me most especially, is how much you didn't sing. It doesn't appear that you missed a beat between switching careers.
Can you break that down for me?
It felt instant.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. 1 minute, Young Jonn, the wicked producer. And then the next minute, Young Jonn.
I mean, I feel like I don't think it was instant like that. I just feel like, you know, people don't pay attention.
Okay.
I feel like there was really anybody that pays attention would know that there's a time that I kept producing, but I wasn't like it wasn't like when I was really into it. You know, so this time I was just kind of like restructuring my life, trying to place my priorities right, figure out the things I want, the things I don't want. I don't know, it was just a funny moment in my life at that point, you know, and it started from the point when I lost my mom. That particular year was very funny.
What year was this?
That was 2017.
Okay.
Yeah, 2017.
What made it a funny year?
I lost my mom January.
Oh no.
Yeah, so like, but that was like I feel like I was at the climax of everything. I just won the Producer of the Year award for Nigeria, then I won the one for Africa. Like I was doing good as a producer, but from that moment, I just didn't enjoy for some reason. I don't know why. I just didn't enjoy being in the studio, doing all of that anymore. For like a whole year, I was off of it. But I'd already done so much work before then, so I feel like people didn't catch on it.
Yeah, because if the beauty of building a catalog or doing a lot of work is that when you don't, for some reason, either you don't find the energy to continue working for a brief period, or you can't even see the light in your eyes or in the things that you create again. Yeah. Those works would outlive you. And in the manner of speaking, it's when you don't see your light, it is those works that beam it back at you.
True.
And you're like, God, I'm good.
True.
And when you were not producing, what were you doing?
I was just there. I was just there with the boys, literally. Like, we were just there. I would just be there. From morning to night, I would just be there.
Did it do anything for you, just hanging with the boys?
Yeah, I think, like, it did a lot for me. Like, I feel like that, it was a lot of clarity. Then, you know, it was a lot of clarity. It was first cloudy. Then a lot of clarity came. Then I realized, like, I just need to, like, get myself back up. But like then I wanted to do what I just wanted. I don't know. But I feel like that moment that's when like this whole new me just started off from. I don't know where, you know.
But before the that period of grief, which we call it mourning and grief. Yeah. When you emerged from it, you already knew you were going to be a singer.
So yeah, this is the thing. So even when I was not working per se, So even as a producer, I used to record a lot of songs.
Yeah, of course, because you're always in the
Yeah.
studio.
You know, so even in this period where I was not working, sometimes I'll record a couple of songs just out of, I could take so long to record it, but then there was a bunch of songs just lying around on my system, you know. So I feel like when I was back up in the studio, I was always playing the songs. My guys would listen to songs. You can even this. You know this kind of
Yeah, I
vibe.
do.
Yeah, I also used to go to Bado studio, so one guy in the studio. I play songs, blah. Like so, it started to catch on to it gradually. So I started recording more songs, not because I wanted to drop it, but I was just enjoying it, you know, and that was really what it was for me at the point.
So Battle was encouraging.
Yeah, I listened to a couple of the songs and it was like, it's good. And that was enough for me.
Yeah, true. And why did you choose to drop Dada of all the records?
I mean, so again, that was not my, I wouldn't say that was not my decision. Yeah, it was my decision, but like a lot of things at this point were influenced by like opinions and all of that. Again, this is where Isioma also like played a large role because honestly, I wasn't planning to be an artist. I was just recording music, and I was just putting it out. Like I literally was having fun at that point because I had a lot of, like you said, like a large catalog as a producer that was, you know. So I was literally having fun at the point. But then she listened to the music and she was like, this music can't go to waste. Then I think she particularly, I can't remember the moment, but I know she listened to that song and she was like, no, this song has to go out. But then I traveled. You know, I traveled for a while.
Where'd you go?
I went to Istanbul. I always used to hang in Istanbul. Like, yeah.
Why do you like what attracts you in Istanbul?
Istanbul is a very beautiful city, first of all, and I had a lot of friends there, you know. So I was just in Istanbul, just chilling, and she'd be calling me that you need to come back to Lagos. We need to drop this song. We need to drop. But anyways, yeah, we came back to Lagos.
Yeah,
and
dropped it, and
yeah.
and within a few months, it did the magic. How did you settle into life as someone with a past, a very gloried past? You've done a lot of great work. Your production has created a huge part of our pop culture within the last 10, 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's, if you mention all the hits, there's a Young Jonn song at every turn. And coming into life as an artist with a different reality, how did you settle into that?
So
what helped you?
I mean, that's a difficult question, if I'm being honest. Well, I won't say difficult question, but I mean, I've never really had to think about it like that until now. And I feel like, I don't know, maybe one thing that helped me is like, I wasn't expecting anything. I wasn't expecting too much. If I'm like, really, I wasn't expecting too much or anything from anything. I was just doing all of this because I could. And what else would I rather do? You understand? And I already came to terms with the fact that like everybody's story is different. I'm a producer. Okay, today I feel like I want to put out music. Fine, I'm putting out music. It does good, fine. It doesn't do good, fine. Like I'm just having fun. Luckily for me, I put out music and it did good. Then at that point, I knew that, okay, then you have to put more effort into this because maybe there's something here that you've been missing out on this whole while. You know, and that's when I really decided to like go all in.
So your first set of results was the proof of concept you needed?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, maybe if that song didn't do good, maybe I'll be like,
Yeah, but thank God it did well.
Yeah.
Thank God it did well.
Yeah.
And then something else that you started doing, or rather that happened when you became an artist. You came with all of the things that were required to be successful. Already you had the name and the clout, or you had that. The credibility was in there. Then you had the crowd. But what was important was you came with a unique voice. You were telling a very specific story. No, it started off specific, but now it's switched because Stronger was different.
Yeah.
But you were telling a very specific story when you started, and you had lyricism, you had melody, you had everything.
Yeah.
Did you feel like you were a cheat?
I mean, that's not the word, but like, I felt like I knew what I was doing. Like, I don't like to, like, brag or whatever, but like, I just felt like, especially at that era, that Love Is Not Enough era, that was my first EP, you know. So when I was recording, like, I mean, I'd spent so much time being a producer. So when I was recording and I listened to Dada and I listened to some of the other records I had on there, like, I knew I was onto something. I didn't know what it was, but like, I mean, I spent so much time producing, so I should be able to tell if this can fly or not. So I knew I was onto something, and I was just hoping that other people will catch on to that thing. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. And for me, I wonder what that thing is. That use of melody, that certainty that this is a hit.
I mean, certainty is not there because I don't think anything is really certain.
Then what gives you the confidence to say something is a hit? Or to forecast that something would be a hit?
I mean, I won't really call it a forecast. I would just say, like, you just got to believe. Like, I don't know how to explain that apart from just like that. You just got to believe. Like, that has been throughout my life.
Yeah.
Like, you just got to believe, bro. Like, you just got to believe. Like when Rema says another banger, he believes.
Okay. I don't want to rush too quickly into the music. I don't want to rush too quickly into the music because I'm trying to understand something. You started producing very young.
Yeah.
You did schooling in Osogbo. Or was it in Osun State?
Yeah, I was
Ibadan, Osun.
Everywhere, yes.
But you're actually from Akwa Ibom.
Yeah.
Do people ever look at you and realize that's an Akwa Ibom person?
People are always surprised when they realize I'm from, and I'm like, oh, why are you surprised? I'm from Akwa Ibom, Ikota Basi.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
I'm from Abak.
Maru. How about you?
Idiaka.
I had no idea.
Yeah. I'm from Abak. And so every time there's oh my God, the illustrious people from Akwa Ibom, any of those lists.
Yeah.
And the first time I saw Young Jonn, I'm like, hold up. No big gadus be that.
Nagadus. Yeah, I'm from Aqua Ibom.
Do you ever go back?
I mean, like, not as often as I would love to. I actually want to go to Aqua Ibom and like spend some time because growing up, I didn't do so much of that. I was either in Ibadan or Osun State or, and I never really. So, yeah, I'm actually planning to go back home this year. Just go there, like, just spend some time, maybe like spend a month or something,
Yeah, it's a beautiful place.
Yeah, it is.
It is. Uyo is most especially beautiful, and the network of roads in that city.
No, it's a beautiful city. I did like a show there like 2 years ago, and I was amazed.
Were you able to speak the language?
But I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
Yeah, you should go back. You should make good that thought. Yeah. And growing up in the West, where did music find you? Which of these schools?
Music found me in a lot of places at different times.
Where was the first place?
The first place is when I was my dad is a pastor. I grew up in the church. I used to play drums from as early as 3 years. My leg was not touching the pedal. I would just be like, So like, my mom used to play the guitar, used to play the keyboard, used to play the violin, So like, music was right in front of me. But like, I wasn't paying too much attention to it. I was just doing it because it was in front of me. I was in the church. If our drummer is not around, I quickly play the drum. When he gets there, he's gonna, the keyboard is not around. I'll play the keyboard till the keyboard gets there. So like, that was it.
So you were born into it.
I was born into the church. Like, I was in the church.
You didn't have a choice.
I didn't have a choice. Sunday service, weekly service, 9BG, I was there.
Do you ever sometimes wonder or think about another timeline or another life, even where you were not born into that?
I mean, that would be very different. That would be wild because I know. I don't think it's possible. I don't think it's possible. I think it shaped all of this, you know.
Yeah,
Like,
it did.
Yeah.
It did. And when did it become production? Because this was just knowledge of music.
So, like it was a lot of things, you know. Like I really wanted. I used to play football when I was in high school, so that's what I really wanted to do. You know, I used to go to, my dad would come because my dad used to play football when he was young. So he would come to school, pick me up, drop me on the field. You know, I would play soccer. But then when I
Were you any good?
yeah, I think I was quite good. No, for real.
Any witness?
I did try. Witness, check online then I go to post my highlights now.
And so you were saying?
Yeah, so like I started growing older, then I started making a lot of friends. Like I'll follow them to the studio, started like indulging in a lot of things that sportsmen should not.
Yeah.
You know. And then I don't know, somehow I found myself in the studio, you know. And then my elder brother and my cousin, we started rapping. That's where production came in. Cause
AVG?
exactly. So we started rapping. We would do freestyle battles in church, everywhere. So then we started looking for original beats to rap on. Then there's this friend in my class that I knew that had. He told me about 40 loops, this thing, and he always used to make beat and things. So I just went to him and like, you should give it to me. That I just want to. That's how I started producing.
Yeah. Was it fast?
No, it wasn't fast because it was. I just had it on my laptop. I would just make loops, rap on it, and that was it. But it was on my laptop. It wasn't a laptop at the point, desktop actually. And I had speakers in my small speakers, you know, these desktop speakers that are connected, and I had this in my room. So that was really it.
And was how many years later did it become a job?
Nah, that's a lot of years later because I was still in secondary school at that time.
Yeah.
I was in SS2 or so when I got that on my laptop, like the old versions of it.
So you started producing in SS2.
But it was a joke. It was just like I wasn't the one producing. It was my guy. His name is Shion. He's the one that was doing this, and he was really. So I knew that. I started following footsteps. I said, hey, okay, it was on my. So I started doing. Then I used to come to Ibadan a lot.
Yeah.
And I would come to Lagos. So I was listening to what people were doing. So when I go back home, I try to like replicate that pattern, you know?
Oh.
That fast Niger peep. So before I knew, I started like doing it. And then I just became good at it. Like people would listen and be like, now you do this, I swear that.
And it became a job. Did it become a job before you met Olamide, or that was after?
No, so it became a job before I met him. That was why. So, yeah. So the story is, me and my brothers. Yeah. So when I finished my secondary school in Osogbo, Osun State, that's Gulf International College. Then I came to Ibadan, met up with one of our cousins. Then we used to go to this studio, rap. I would make beats, we would sing on it, rap. We just wanted to have like records, just Then at that studio, there's this. Not even the guys in the studio. There's this store next to it. This guy sells like clothes, it's this UK guy like is next to the studio.
Yeah.
So we used to come in the studio and be like, this because we're really small. Like sure, like, these small boys I like them, man. They just the ginger.
Oh, nice.
Beats. Like, so we call us to the store. Will give us clothes, give us shoes.
Oh.
Yeah. Then one day he just came and he just told us that one of his brothers just opened one studio in Lagos that they're looking for a producer to come and. But I wasn't really a producer. I was just an artist that was making beats for my brothers. But it was like, I like your beats. We guys go there. And I was like, okay, let's go. At the time, my brother gained admission to the University of Ibadan.
Yeah.
my other cousin went to Ghana for schooling.
Yeah.
So I gained admission into the University of Ibadan, but I never did my clearance and all of that. You know, those things you have to do. I wasn't really into
registration.
I just forgot it till the deadline was done. My mom was so mad, Jesus. So I had a whole year of not doing anything. So she was like, okay, you have to do that's when I started the distance learning. She was like, okay, you have to go and do distance learning. That way you can go to Lagos. That's the only thing I had to do to go to Lagos. I'm like, okay, I'll do it. Then I did it. Then I went to Lagos. I followed the bros. Then I went to the studio. Luckily for me, one day they're like, Olamide always comes to this studio. I'm like, oh, boy. One day, I just hear knock on the door. I'm the one that went to open the door. I just open the door. I just, Bado just enter the studio. He came in with Reminisce. All of them they were recording the YBNL album with Fuse. But I'd met Fuse before when I just came to the studio. I was like, okay. So I was there. I'll just be by the corner of the studio. They'll be doing their thing. I'll just be watching everything they are doing. When they leave, I try to make my own beats. Just try to see that these people are doing something like, well, I wasn't really up to that. So I just kept doing it till I knew that, okay, yeah, these beats are sounding solid to an extent.
Yeah.
Then Bado came to the studio sometimes. Like, you made this beat? And he kept listening to my beats. We tried some things, didn't really work out. Till like the next year or so, when he just called me randomly, like, where am I? I should come to the house. He sent me his address. I played some couple beats. When I was leaving, I was like, there's this beat I made, it's on my phone. Let me play it to you. It was not like, no, I should send it to his mail. Then I sent to his mail, he played it on the laptop, and he recorded it that night. So it was like, I shouldn't leave so we can finish it up the next morning.
Yeah.
Finished it up the next morning. Then I go.
Yeah.
Next few days, Story for the Gods is out.
That beat was Story for the Gods.
Yeah, it was out. I was just there and Story for the Gods. People just started calling me in the beginning. I'm like, yeah. Really, that's the full story I just told you.
You seem to stumble into a lot of stuff. But it's true.
I swear down.
Yeah, there are very few things in all of this story. There are very few times that except when you've noticed something there, but you just stumble into stuff naturally.
I mean, yeah, so can't even lie.
but it just shows how curious you are as a person.
Yeah.
Because if you're not open as a person, you're not going to add things to your existence.
True.
Like you continue to do. And all the years you spent with Olamide, what was most striking for you? What did you take when you left the camp?
Yeah, I always say this, like, one thing I took from Bado that I don't think can ever leave me in this life, and I feel is the most important thing I even learned from him, is the work rate. Like, the work rate is crazy.
It's military.
Like, it's crazy. Like, we'll be in the studio. It's not even about trying to put out music. We are not making music to put it out. We are just making it to, like, create it, because you don't even know until you create it, you know?
Yeah.
And so we are just making music, punched out, making 100.
You guys just keep making
songs, bunch of songs, and it's just so, like, it became part of like, even me right now as an artist, I'm just in the studio, whether I'm recording or not. I have a studio, I'm just there. We are playing game, we are doing whatever it is we are doing. Once the vibe comes, we get it down straight up. Like,
it's part of your work ethic now.
Part of it, yeah. So, yeah.
Then where's the time to chill or experience life if you work so much?
Yeah, so, like, I feel like we just realized that that's our life. So everything is in that. That's why we're in the studio, we are playing games. Most times, if people want to come and visit me, they are coming to visit me in the studio, because that's where I am. We're just there. Anything you want chop for a studio.
But what does recording that much, what does it do? What advantage does it give you?
I mean, the more the merrier, you know. Like I feel like it's creation. If you don't try, it's like bringing something to life. Like, if you don't bring it to life, you don't know how far it's going to. At least you have to bring it to life first. So the more things you bring to life, the more higher the probability that I don't know. I guess. I
That you
don't know.
success. So you think creativity or creative output is a numbers game, or creative success? You can boil it down. You can give yourself an advantage rather
Yeah, that's the word, an advantage.
when it's when you run it like a numbers game.
Yeah, an advantage because it's not necessarily like that. You know, like some people will just do, you know. But like I think that's the word, an advantage.
So the more you create, the more your probability of winning.
Exactly.
When you had that slump while you were grieving, did you feel like you weren't creating?
I felt
per
so
se?
bad. You have no idea.
You felt like you were missing out on something.
I felt like I was drowning. But I feel like at that point, like it didn't really matter to me because I tried. It's not like I didn't try. Like, but it wasn't. I don't know.
Your heart was not in it,
It was not there. Like I tried. Trust me.
and you listen to every other person's music. At no point where you like, oh my God, like even like the I can do it. It didn't give you.
I was just there.
You were numb.
I was just there. I swear down. I was just there, like there. You know, we'll just be there. I think the most highest thing we did is go and play football or something. Like that. I was started going out to play football, playing video games. That was my life. Like studio was not even there. Sometimes Bado will come into the studio. I will go to the studio. We are just there. Even I feel like even he knew that this guy right now. So we just come. We'll just be there.
Okay, he was with you, or he was supportive.
For a while. Yeah. You know, we'll just be there. Me and Kesh too. Yeah, Kesh will just come to my house. We are just there. We are not making music. We are just there.
That's an unspoken way that brothers show each other love.
Yeah.
Just hanging with each other.
Yeah.
Just
being there.
just being there. Even if you're not doing anything,
Yeah.
just be there.
Yeah.
One thing you did, because I can draw a line between the sound you made, not the sound, but the format in which you made the sound in YBNL,
Yeah.
and how you moved when you became an artist.
Yeah.
At YBNL, you were a workhorse that played extremely fast music for the most part. It was fast. It was beautiful
Yeah.
because it held us down,
Yeah.
but it was very fast.
Yeah.
Was that a requirement back then, or was it a reaction to the market?
It was a reaction to the market, yeah, and that was just space because some other people were also doing music that was not so fast. But at then that's where my head was. You know, I was like, we used to always, me and my guys there, we'll go to Rumors. The Rumors.
Yeah, the
the
nightclub.
Yeah, so you know when you go to Rumors, then like music is really like fast tempo with the conga thing you're doing, and has been, you know, like very fast, like dance. So that was all that was in my head. I'm like, okay, I'm trying to make a beat, like we're going straight to the club, we're going to dance, like, you know. But when I started making music, it was different because I wasn't doing it to prove anything. I was just doing it to like express what was in my head, like just to like express my mind. So I didn't need to, you know, I just really needed to express what was in my head. That was why I was, rather than producing. When I was producing, I'm like, bro, now you two want to do like this, so no, you say, no, we share it, we can't do for it.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
so yeah.
So at that time, did hits have a formula?
Well, you can say that it was easier for dance music to go mainstream compared to, I think so. I don't know. At least that was my formula, and it was working for me.
As long as you could get people to dance.
Yeah, like my beats were always like, even in the studio, like, they make beats. Everybody guys, they like, if I see them, they dance. That's when I know that, oh yeah, we're onto something. Like the percussions have to like go crazy, go hard, you know.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
And when you crossed over, what part of that guided you
Yeah, I mean,
when you became an artist?
yeah. So like when I became an artist, I feel like it was a different thing because, like I said, I was just trying to express myself. You know, it's not like I was making music like, oh, this song now it's one do like no, 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 no. I was just trying to. I feel like I had so much in my head that I just needed to like
Pour out.
pour out. Yeah.
And they were all about women.
I mean, a couple of. I mean, love is a beautiful thing, right?
Yes, it is the highest form of vibration.
Yeah. So I would say I had so much love in my heart. Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you want me?
No. Okay, and so you, but what was very blatant was it's stuck.
Yeah.
It's stuck, and the more you threw into the atmosphere,
Yeah.
the more it's stuck.
Yeah. True.
When did you finally get the confidence to see yourself as an artist?
I feel like that took a while, I'm not even gonna lie. Because even when I started recording and the song became hits, like I was not outside,
Yeah.
I was inside. So my perspective was different from
What
yeah.
what people were
It's only when
feeling.
my guys would come and be like, yo, G, that was me, I'm just inside. I'm probably playing Call of Duty or something, you know. So I don't even really know what's going on outside like that. And I'm like, okay, the songs are big, fine, but like I didn't really see myself like that until later when I started going on tour, started traveling, then I started seeing the fan reactions, and I realized that okay. Then I started paying more attention to a lot of things, you know, started, you know, working on my life. I was like, okay, Mr. If I get a corner, I go kill you now. You know, Mr. I started like going on, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's when I feel like that's when I really realized that, okay, there's something here and I need to do better to capitalize it, you know?
Yeah, but you're doing amazing.
Yeah. But we're about to go crazy.
Yes, you are. So in this new era now, you understand how to make a hit, but previously it was you were very intentional with making a hit.
Yeah.
Now, your self-expression
Yeah.
develops or creates hits,
Yeah.
and with the more things that you learn, the more knowledge you learn about the space. Now there's, I imagine the first time you dropped your first song, there was not a lot of rollout plans.
I mean, so yeah, there was, but I mean, not like now, obviously, because that was the first record.
Yeah.
So remember, when I came back to Nigeria,
Yeah.
I signed with Chocolate City, you know, and
Why did you choose them?
all right,
I've always wondered because it felt, one would always imagine that if someone's going to sign Young Jonn, you were going to sign directly. But it was shocking for us to see Chocolate City.
all right. So I mean, I feel like I don't really have an answer to that, but like if you, with the stories I've told you today, you can tell that I do a lot of gut feeling. Like sometimes I just follow my
Your instincts, yeah.
or my intuition, and that's it. Nobody can tell me anything else.
Okay.
You know, so like, yeah, when I was in Lagos, I thought about like a lot of different options because at that point, when people actually started to hear my music, I actually had quite some options like in front of me, you know. But like for some reason, I was just convinced that I should go this route instead because some people had heard my music, they wanted me on board, but for some reason, you know, I just believed that
It just felt right.
yeah, like I should do this instead. You know?
You did it, and it's nice. It takes a lot for a person to trust their instinct, especially when it comes to matters like business.
Yeah, but if you don't trust your instinct, what are you gonna trust?
Some people trust the numbers.
Okay.
A higher number would, I don't know, lubricate your instincts.
Me, so I feel like numbers don't move me because those numbers you see was a result of something. Like, doesn't mean like those numbers will continue there instantly. Those numbers grew from a certain number, and that period of the growth is what I'm really more interested in than, okay, we are starting from here. Where are you going? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like the ability to go from year to year is what I'm more interested in. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. You're a process person.
Yeah.
You love the journey.
Yeah.
And the growth process.
Yeah.
And now that so we were talking about how you finally got into the zone.
Yeah.
What parts of yourself did you discover now that you're an artist that you didn't know existed while you were a producer? What shocked you the most?
Yeah, so as a producer, like, I'm not saying being a producer is what made that happen, but when I was young, I used to be so shy. My anxiety was up the roof, like it was crazy, you know. So, but like, being an artist, I realized that had to change. It took a lot of work, I promise you. But I think I like who I am now compared to as a person, you know, my interaction with people, like my confidence level. I feel like being an artist really, really is what made me like step that up.
Because you had no choice.
You don't have a choice. You don't have a choice.
You're always outside.
Yeah.
And then with the music, the thing I find very interesting about your record so far, there's one particular song. Was it Stronger? The one where you spoke about your mom.
Yeah, Stronger.
It's Stronger now. Yes,
Yeah.
I keep mixing it. You made people dance so much that when you began to talk about a lot of people haven't noticed this. When you began to speak about something real,
Yeah.
love is real, of course, but this
Yeah.
one was a lived experience.
Yeah.
People still dance.
Yeah. That's shout out to Rage. That's the producer's fault.
Yeah, Rage is an interesting person.
You know, when he sent me that beat and I was trying to record the beat, like, I'm being honest, to the point where I connected my sound card, had my headphones on, everything. I was going to record like a love song, like, cause when I was hearing the beat, like, I had some vibes in my head, and I swear down, it was like all very lovey-dovey, sweet, like, you know. But then for some reason, like, once the mic is in my mouth and the thing is in my head, the first thing that comes to my head, I don't know vitamin C. One more feature on my melanin queen.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, why not? Then I just took it from there. But like, I feel like if I wanted to record a song with if I had it in mind, I want to record a song about my mom, that wouldn't be the beat I'm going to choose. I'm probably going to look for something, you know. But for some reason, I was just about to record that beat, and that was where it led me to.
Beautiful. And who knows when Young Jonn would ever want to do an interview again?
I mean, don't say it like that. It's not that deep, but like, I mean, honestly, I'm just
Because even researching, for me, so when I have interviews or when I see artists, I love their music.
Yeah.
I like to do a deep dive into them.
Yeah.
So on paper, there's a lot of things that have been written about you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did a few interviews in the US. You did one with Revolt.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did a few of those. But I found it hard to, and this is me as a researcher, as someone who digs deep into the culture, I found it hard to create like a personal profile of your personality. Yeah. I found it hard. And so when I'm like, oh my God, okay, I want Young Jonn. and people were like, yeah, okay, you know, it's Young Jonn. Oh,
I mean, so it's not like, I don't want to say it's not like I don't enjoy doing interviews, but like I said, I just
you'd rather stay in.
Yeah, like, you know.
Yeah. So, but thank you for doing this.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you for doing this. And with the music now, you've had first life.
Yeah.
In the industry. Now you are in the thick of your second life. Do you ever consider, and so does it dawn on you repeatedly, or I know it's your life, but I just want to know if it dawns on you that what you're doing is extremely rare?
I mean, yeah, I hear that a lot, honestly.
Okay.
I hear it a lot.
And when you hear, what feelings does it generate in you?
I mean, it's real, like, okay. Like I don't know, like, but I've just always believed like I can do anything I put my mind to, you know. And honestly, like I still feel like I'm so far from where I can take this to, like where I know I'm gonna take this to.
Where do you want to take it to?
I can't even put it in words yet, but I want to take it as far as the eyes can see.
Yeah.
But you get what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to take it like there.
When was the first time you left the country? When your music started blowing? When was the first time?
I think right after we dropped Dada. Yes, right after we dropped the Dada remix, Davido had a show in Dubai in the Coca-Cola Arena. I think that was my first like very like
International show.
Isioma right now. Yeah, like close to the
That was your first international flow.
Yeah. Then in the Coca-Cola Arena was wild. Then right after that, no long again.
No wonder you loved it.
It was wild. Then I think not long after I did one that was my own headline show in Istanbul also. Yeah. Actually, we went back to Istanbul. I had a headline show. So like from that moment, I think I knew that okay, I think this thing is going. Like let me just calm down and you know.
Do you ever wonder why? And this is general. I'm using you as a touchstone, but it's a general question about the culture.
Yeah.
So, in your music, a lot of what you've done and what you've created came from here.
Yeah.
Is geared towards here, but it resonated a lot outside.
Yeah.
When you go out to these shows, what do you think these people are connecting to?
Honestly, I think we had a conversation about that recently, but like, honestly, I don't know. But I know they are resonating to something because last year I was on the road throughout. Like we started from Europe, I did Canada, and I did America also.
Yeah.
And the shows were amazing.
How many months were you on the road?
I was on the road from like, when did we start Europe? May till like September, October, till November, and I came back December. So it was amazing. I met like people from different races. Like I feel like that's when it dawned on me like we're onto something like crazy if we can just keep going, because like people were really like singing songs that I didn't know you know, there are some songs you know that people will know.
Yeah.
But there are some songs you're like, but then you see white people singing in a song that you feel like they should not even be knowing.
Yeah.
I mean, they are not in the multitude yet like some other artists, but like you can see that you have a community that is gradually growing, growing, and it was just amazing to see, honestly.
Being on the road is usually tough.
It's thoughtful.
And I always wonder how you guys can stomach it. You're sleeping in multiple beds. You're moving from city to city. The world just moves extremely fast.
Time zones changing.
How do you now find yourself? How do you center yourself through all of that?
Honestly, I won't lie. Like it's a lot. Being on the road is a lot. Like I feel like after that, I started respecting artists even much more. You know, because I always used to, as a producer, I always used to have the feeling that artists have it easy. Not that they have it easy, but like producers can be in the studio for hours for one song, then the artist will sing, then they're traveling about enjoying. But that traveling about is not enjoying. Like you even actually enjoy when you're back home, done with the tour and you're home. But like when you're on the road, you fall sick because the time zone. Like
you're moving.
I fell sick so many times. I was on the stage so many times where I was sick.
No way.
Yeah. But
how do you patch yourself up to climb the stage?
You just gotta do it. Like honestly, like maybe use the painkiller. I started painkillers were like my best friend on tour. I'm not even gonna lie. Like you just use the painkiller, get on stage and do what you gotta do. And then so the interesting thing is that once you get on stage and you see the fans and their reaction, even you just light up and everything is fine.
Yeah.
You know, everything is great.
And back to my earlier question about like the culture generally, using your song as a touch point. So knowing that a lot of the time, some of these people that consume your music.
Yeah.
They connect to the energy, they connect to melody, they connect to all of this. Isn't it, when you think of Afrobeats, where we are now, Afrobeats to the world, happening, all of that, doesn't it, I don't know, surprise you that we have this going for us?
No, honestly, it surprises me. I'm not gonna. Well, I won't say it surprises me. I would rather say like I'm intrigued at how fast it happened.
Why?
Because I feel like I always knew that African music was gonna. I always knew like it was gonna happen. I just didn't know when. You know, and it's amazing like how like African music has grown so like it was even quicker than I imagined. Because a lot of African artists are doing crazy numbers out there.
Yeah.
You be on the streets, even in the airports, I'll be hearing like, African music playing like Rema, Bona, like they will probably just switch it up to like a techno. I was in the airport and they switched it up to like a techno. They'll put this techno beat on top of it.
And then that should be Europe. They do that a lot.
Yeah, then it was just playing in the airport. I'm like, mado. Even I was in the store, I was there in Arista.
Yeah,
like.
Yeah, they play a lot of us. Yeah. But generally, as a culture, why were you always expecting it to go global? What was in the music that you felt people from outside the space would resonate with?
Yeah, I just knew that like it's gonna go around. That's the principle of life. Like that's the principle of life. And it has happened before, maybe not like it will just keep going around. It keeps going around.
But the people in Lesotho, it has not reached their turn.
I don't care. I mean, you know what I mean? Yeah, I feel like there are major genres that like just, like people have done it before.
Yeah.
Fela has done it. Like Nigerian music has been there before. Sometimes it's Asian music, sometimes Latino music. So I just knew that Nigeria was going to get. I just knew that the production needed to. So yeah, that's the catch.
Yeah, production.
The production, regardless of the genre, the production has to be world class level. Once the production is world class level, I feel like it's gonna go.
When did you think we hit world class level production as a culture?
Recently, the producers, I won't lie, Nigerian producers have been going crazy. Like in my opinion, they've been going crazy. Like you can play before years back, especially when I used to produce.
Yeah,
we'll be in the club. If they play like Nigerian music, if they play hip hop next to it, you can tell the difference.
Because of the sound quality?
Yeah, the sound quality, the depth, the how rich it is, But I feel like now you can play an hip hop song and play a couple Nigerian songs and the energy is gonna match up, the bass levels, the depth, everything is still gonna work.
Yeah. Well, back then, why do you think we didn't bother too much about sound engineering? Because a lot of the projects you guys dropped on that YBNL, I don't think a lot of it had a lot of heavy engineering in there.
So I won't say we didn't bother about it, but like
what happened?
We're just not there yet. Like Nigeria, like every year, if you actually listen, like the quality keeps getting better. In my opinion, the production quality keeps getting better. And as of that time, that was good production, But if you actually compare it to what's going on now, you can tell like the difference. Like it's not even like the difference. You understand? So like I feel like that's the level we were at the point.
I walked to my friend's office the other day, and he called me upstairs and took me to a studio, and he was so proud. He beat his chest and he's like, "I just did a Dolby Atmos enabled studio."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Why is this so?" I know what it is, but I wanted to get more. So I asked him, "Why is this so important to you?" Then it says now I don't need to travel outside
for a Dolby mix.
A Dolby mix. It's right here in my office.
Yeah.
We didn't used to think about Dolby mixes.
Yeah. Fair enough. I mean, Dolby mixes just recently became a thing also, like on the large scale. But yeah, fair enough. Now we are just recently starting to have those kind of studios in
Lagos.
Lagos, yeah.
And This year you've already started.
Yeah.
A single is out.
Yeah. OnlyFans.
OnlyFans, well done.
Thank you.
This was love song, of course.
Yeah, it's a love song.
Yeah, a sweet,
Beautiful love song.
a sweet love song.
Yeah.
Why did you choose to go this route this time?
Because that's how I feel. Like, I always think about how I feel, you know.
Still maintaining the train of your feeling or the line of your feeling. Another project, another album. Do you feel that way?
So I feel like eventually we are leading up to there. But right now I feel like just putting out a lot of music, you know, having fun with it, and let's see where it takes us to.
And in all of this, you started out, stumbled, you were born into music.
Mm-hmm.
You stumbled into it as an interest.
Yeah.
And then as a profession.
Mm-hmm.
Stumbled into YBNL.
I say that.
Yeah, he stumbled into YBNL.
Yeah.
Suffered grief. Stumbled into
Being an artist.
into being an artist.
Yeah.
And being an artist, you've imposed your creative will on the world. In all of this your journey, what do you keep for yourself in all of this? Because creating means giving so much of yourself to the world.
True.
What stays with you?
That's I think I have to think about that question, because I've never really thought about it like that, you know. But like, I don't know. I feel like maybe the satisfaction, you know, like, how do they say it? To whom much is given, much is expected, right?
Yeah.
So like maybe some certain people are just giving some gifts so they can share with the world, and I don't know.
So in that your generosity, you feel a sense of satisfaction.
Yeah, I feel a sense of satisfaction. At least I can take care of my family, people that matter the most to me, like their immediate needs are met to a point. You know, I can, you know, I mean, I'm alive, having fun, connecting with the fans. I feel like I feel satisfied. I've never had to think about it like this though, so maybe I have to go and actually give this a lot of thought. So, yeah.
Yeah, so when you're done thinking about it, we'll be back for another episode. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thanks.
Thank you for coming. I appreciate you, brother.